Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Ashley and this is Martin Midlife Misadventures, and today we're going to flour it up. I'm doing more than flouring it up because I have a lot of meal prep to do, okay? I'm going to do a little potato soup, I'm going to do some apples with some cinnamon, and I'm going to make some unleavened flatbread. I'm getting ready for our Shabbat and I am so behind on getting ready for Sabbath this week. So I'm going to show you a little bit of what I'm doing to get ready, and let me tell you, the reason I'm making the potato soup is because Amy's digestive is still, it's healing. And anybody who has diverticulitis should know that after you go through an episode, you need to let those intestines heal and be very careful and gentle foods and things of that nature. So that's what I'm trying to do with this today, and I'm going to bring you along for it. Are you ready to make some flatbread potato soup and stewed apples? Let's do it. Okay, I want to show you, I'm doing some meal prep for our Sabbath. I'm making some potato soup. I cut up about 5 potatoes. I have some, just some water over them, and 1 chicken bouillon cube in the bottom because I'm going to add some of my survival soup to this. If you haven't made my survival soup, it is amazing, and I will put a link up here for you so you can check it out. So anyway, we've got our potato soup going, nice and easy on the digestive system, and I pulled some apples out of the freezer. See, they're still frozen. I'm going to cook these down with a little cinnamon, and we'll have like an apple pie, but without the crust, right? These are some of the seasonings I'm putting in my soup. I've got some of my dehydrated onions here, some cracked pepper, some garlic powder, onion powder, and this is just a little parsley. And I'm going to dump that in so those flavors can actually get into the potatoes. Some people don't season their potato soup to the end, and I am going to season again, but I really have found if you can get some of that seasoning in with the potatoes, it really helps bring a wonderful flavor. This is probably going to cook for about 30 minutes or so, and then I'll show you my next step. Alright friends, this is the easiest recipe in the world. I have done it before. I'll leave a link up here so you can look it up, but we're going to do this pretty fast. I've got 2 cups of flour in my bowl. To it, we're going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I don't really measure this anymore, but we're going to do it. 2 cups of flour, and then we've got 1 cup of water. That's it. And I like to use my hands to do this, so get in there. Get it all stirred up. Okay, I'm still mixing it. It's mixing well, but it's kind of sticky. And I know I always tell you don't add more flour, but technically I'm not measuring properly today, and it is super humid in my kitchen because I've got other foods going. So let's just get this last 2 tablespoons mixed in. Alright, I've just got it mixed into a ball. It's kind of sticky. No worries about that. I'm going to set it aside. You don't have to. You could put some flour on a board and start rolling out balls right now. But I have found if I let it sit just for a little while, 30, 40 minutes or so, and then do a couple more turns on it, my bread product comes out better. So that's what I'm going to do since my stove is full of food right now, and I'll bring you back when we're ready to do that. Our soup is looking absolutely fantastic, so I'm ready to add my homemade soup mix into this. And this is basically some powdered milk and mashed potatoes and all kinds of seasonings. It's just fantastic. Like I said, I will leave you guys a link for that. And then we stir it in. And now this, because it has a little bit of cornstarch in it, right, some powdered milk, it's going to thicken it. If I would have used more, I could get it good and thick, but we don't need it real super thick. I just want that little milkiness and a little bit of thickness to come to this. And that's it on our soup. We're going to let that keep cooking. So let's go to our apples. They're all looking good. They're all thawed now. They're starting to get a little bit of boil on them. So what I'm going to do is start adding in my cinnamon. I am not adding any sugar to this because honestly we are trying to curb our sugar intake, and we are feeling so much better for it. So I'm adding probably about a tablespoon or maybe a half a teaspoon. I don't even know how much I just add. Let's see, that was a quarter. So I added 3/4 of a teaspoon, which is probably more than a teaspoon because they were a little heapy. So add you about a teaspoon in. I know it looks like a lot right now, but it still has a lot of cooking to do, and I'm kind of chopping these apples a little as they soften. So it'll be more like a super chunky cinnamon applesauce. And these apples, oh, I'm so glad I kept them because they're tart and they're sweet. They really do not need the sugar added to them. Back to our soup. Looking good. I don't know if you can see it or not. I did add, when you weren't looking, just a pinch of dehydrated jalapeno to it, just for a little bit more seasoning. But guys, this is so good, and it is so good when your belly's just not quite right. It sits good. Amy wants a little taste of soup, so I'm going to make her a little mug of soup. She can't wait. So we're going to get a little cup of soup here. There we have a nice mug of soup. Amy will have that for lunch. Let's take a look at our dough. It's looking good. Not sticking too bad. This looks like it's going to be perfect. I've already pulled the soup off. The apples are done now. Now I'm going to preheat my pan here. This is just a little fry pan. You could do this in any kind of pan you want, okay? Doesn't matter. Cast iron, regular, doesn't matter. I just want to get that good and hot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide this up into about 8 pieces. Let me get it out. Put a little bit of flour on your board. Put your dough ball on there. I like to flip it over. That looks good. And that's all we're doing so we can handle it. We don't want to add too much flour. Now we're going to divide it up into about 8 pieces. Nothing fancy. They don't have to be the same. And then we're going to put them in a ball. Well, that's kind of a little ball. You get the idea. Okay, I've got these done, and I've got one here, and I've got a little bit of flour on my board. I'm just going to press it down with my hands, get it spread out as much as I can before I bring my rolling pin in. Always put a little bit of flour on your rolling pin. It keeps it from sticking. And we're just gonna roll them out. They don't have to be round. It doesn't have to be perfect at all. I do want to get these kind of thin because we might decide to make a little pizza on them. And we want them thin if we do that. Let's pick it up slowly. My sleeve is falling down. Oh, I got a little hole. Okay, if you get a little hole, just patch it up a little like that. Take your rolling pin and just gently work it. You can't even tell it's there anymore. I think this is plenty thin. Now we're going to take it, follow me, and we're just going to put it on our pan. Just like that. I think I can take my gloves off now. I'm going to cook it and just kind of keep moving it around. I should get my little... Mom got me the neatest little things for flipping my flatbreads. Let me get them. Look at these, guys. These are for flipping tortillas. They're silicone. Look at this. These are tortilla finger flippers. Aren't they just the coolest thing? But look at this nice golden color that it's getting. So good looking. And you can touch this. I mean, they do not. And that's it. It's puffing up a little. It gets little puffy spots in it. And that's it. This one's about ready. Now we could just put some butter on it and eat it with our soup. Or like I said, we could make little individual pizzas on them. Delicious. How's your soup?
It's so good.
And now you want my first flatbread, don't you?
Yep.
She sure does. Okay, so let's get this flatbread for Amy. And the way I'll do this is we'll just put a little bit of butter on it. Just give her a little butter on there, and she can eat it with her potato soup. These are so good, guys, and as long as you wrap them up, you can put them in the refrigerator, and they keep. They just are perfect. Perfect vehicle for any food.
Ooh, it's hot.
It's just so good.
They're so good.
Flour, water, and salt. It's almost better than a tortilla, isn't it? Right on. Just wanted to show you the apples one last time. They are done, and they are delicious. No sugar needed. Very, very delicious. Now see, since we're going to have the bread, that's why I didn't make a crust or anything like that for us. All right, everybody. I tried a flatbread, and it was delicious. I had a little bit of soup with it, too, and it's perfect. Just perfect. And the thinner you can get them, it's like a cracker. It's the closest flavor to a saltine cracker I can get. But you got to get them really, really thin. I really hope you'll give it a try because you don't need any leavening, and it's delicious, and you can use them for absolutely anything. The soup is healing. It just is for us. For some reason, potato soup does the job, and when it's from scratch at home, even better. And the apples, well, that goes without saying. Yes, I would have liked to make an apple pie and things like that, but again, everything in moderation, and especially bread products, okay? So we don't need the bread on that. I might put a little cream, whip up some whipped cream or something like that to put on top, but the bread portion isn't necessary. We have enough of that going into our supper tonight. All right, everybody, I hope you'll give these things a try. I hope you're continuing to stack your pantries and learning how to make things from scratch, controlling the ingredients, knowing exactly what's going into our bodies, and getting healthier every single day. All right, everybody, we're going to be talking to you really soon. God bless you.